Last time on Sailing on a Whim, after sailing on other people's boats all summer, we finally head to Florida to survey a Tartan 37. Run aground along the way, and get to see a little bit of what Florida has to offer for the holidays. Coming up, we give you a glimpse into what we do for a living before we head back to Florida to finalize the paperwork and start our new adventure. Hey, what's up? So, since you're going to be following us along on all the crazy stuff we do, I figure we might as well bring you along for a little bit of how to plan a New Year's Eve party. So, I'm an event producer, and I have been putting on events for almost 20 years. Along with a plethora of nonprofit events, I also produce one of the Twin Cities' largest New Year's Eve parties. I love doing events, and I especially love throwing this New Year's Eve party. So I wanted to show you guys just a little bit about what goes into it, because I mean I think maybe some like we'll go up through the space again.
Yeah.
Some of the logistics and placement of everything, and just kind of get all that solidified.
Let's head up there then.
You want to do that right? Typically, we spend about 4 to 5 months a year planning this event and everything that goes with it, including the marketing, the PR, and the promotion of the event. So this is the tallest building in the Twin Cities. There's 3 other buildings, and you'll see in some of the footage, but as you can see, it's amazing. It's called the Crystal Court in here, and I think it's about 51 stories tall, so we're on the very top floor of the IDS Tower. Even 50 people.
Oh.
So it's not going to be like there's going to be 100 people that are going to be doing the open bar thing.
That's fine, man.
Yeah,
easier to because originally we were talking 150 to 200.
No, we only are making room. I have us budgeted at 50 people.
Okay.
On open bar.
For the open bar package. That's
Yeah.
what I meant. Yeah.
So we just got done with our meeting and went through a bunch of stuff. So I just really want you guys to see kind of what goes into our life as event producers and promoters. So, this is the first year we're doing it at this particular venue. We've been doing it for 14 years at a different venue. So moving it, it just throws a big wrench in all your logistics. So we have a lot less space this year, different staff, everything. It's a smaller space, so it makes it a little bit easier. I just want to share with you kind of what we do, because we'll have to come back next year in November to plan this again. That's going to be kind of where some of our funds are coming from for our lifestyle sailing. So that's about it. So I just wanted to do a little clip from up here. It's the 50th floor of the IDS Tower. You can look it up if you want. And I'll put a link in the description of our event and the website so you can kind of check it out. See pictures from a bunch of our last years. We have a lot of fun doing this event. But it's the skyscraper. It's the top floor of the tallest building in Minneapolis, and that's just a really cool place to have a New Year's party.
Pick up the dice, give it a roll. You never really know which way to go. Feel it inside, feel the spark, lift you up when you're falling apart. We think we know it all, we stand 10 feet small, with our head on the ground. I think I've seen it all, that I've come so far, but it just got me high till I broke down. Does somebody know of a place where your heart doesn't sink like a stone? When you're naked and broken with nowhere to go. Does somebody know? Does somebody know of a place where the green isn't covered by snow? Every time that your eyes speak, it's time to let go. Does somebody know?
So I came back into our little break room. Everything's going really well. We're having a great time, but my batteries are dead. So I gotta run back out, go finish this party up, but things are looking really, really good. So sailing on a whim is gonna be in full effect. Thanks to everybody who came. All right, stay tuned. I'll try to charge the battery a little later and get back into it. See you guys. Happy New Year.
That I've come so far, but it just got me high till I broke down. Does somebody know of a place where your heart doesn't sink like a stone when you're naked and broken, nowhere to go? Does somebody
About to head to the airport. So we're about to go buy a boat. We are actually about to go buy a boat. Well, I just got to the boat, and so we got here, and that boat was a little bit of a mess. So I think the prior owners had a little bit of a fun going away party on the boat. There was potato chips everywhere and beer cans on the deck, and probably not the best way to welcome new owners to the boat, but whatever. Well, anyway, so we're gonna get cleaning on this a little bit, and I don't know, just kind of start getting used to being on the boat. Okay, stay tuned.
We go back to my house. John was across.
So there are two ways to purchase a boat. You can either buy a boat through a broker, or you can buy the boat directly from the previous owner. In our situation, the previous owner had listed the boat directly. So we are trying to figure out, so we're, John, the other guy who is part owner of the boat, isn't here.
Guy.
He's the finance guy, so he's the one who sent us all the paperwork. So we're trying to fix we're trying to get all the paperwork set up so we can sign it, but there's no title. We're not sure we need the title.
There's no title, but there's a certificate of documentation from the United States of America.
The benefit of going through a broker is that the broker will generally take care of all the paperwork and have everything settled and organized for you when you are ready to purchase the boat. A broker can also work as a mediator if there are any issues with the boat that you need to negotiate with the previous owner. And in our situation, there were a few things that were supposed to have been fixed by the time we got back that weren't. What we decided is that we were going to purchase the boat, and the previous owner agreed that he would make sure that the things that needed to be fixed got fixed within the next month while we were still in the area. We only agreed to this because he had been so gracious with us up until this point, but in general, it wouldn't be a situation that I would recommend going through, only because you never know what will happen once you hand the check over. All in all, it really worked out in our favor because I think we did save a lot of money without going through a broker. And we also built a great relationship with the previous owners, and that paid huge dividends. Whenever we have issues with the boat, we can call them up and they will walk us through any sort of knowledge they have of that issue.
That's your handshake?
Drink my highlight.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're buddies now.
I love it.
Morning. So, first night on the boat, slept like a baby. Like a baby. So we sent Christoph to go get some provisions for our trip down to the new marina. We're headed to Port of the Islands Marina. Well, it certainly didn't take long for us to start to understand what boat ownership is really all about. On our way to a new marina, the chart plotter just stopped working.
Well, we're still having some problems, but we are almost off the ocean. We're going into the Everglades here shortly. Hopefully the Garmin keeps working. It looks like we're having issues with the battery bank charging. So it's not just one of the batteries that we're having an issue with, it's everything. So we're gonna have to figure that out. We have to keep the engine running. We can't shut it off because if the batteries aren't charging, we don't know if we'll be able to start it again.
Luckily, between our cell phones and the iPad, we were able to get an idea of where we were and get some basic navigation going, but our depth wouldn't work, and everywhere in the Everglades is pretty shallow, so we were on pins and needles. We did run into a pod of dolphins and took that as a sign of good luck that we would make it all the way to the marina. What's up, everybody? So we just hit a little sand. See, the beautiful thing about a Tartan 37 is that it's got a 4.2 draft, and it's got a really long keel. So, kissing the ground a little bit. It's a really forgiving boat, and I don't think we could have asked for a better boat. I mean, if we had any other boat with more than a foot more draft, there'd have been 2 or 3 times already. Just with pulling the boat out, going down the inlets in Florida, it would be just a whole different scenario. So really super happy right now with our choice of boat. Of course, that sentiment only lasted about another 5 minutes. Because, we ran aground again. These guys were nice enough to stop to help pull us off the sandbar, but even they couldn't pull us loose, so we looked like we were probably going to be stuck there for a little while, until James had the idea to put me in the kayak with the anchor and send me out about 100 yards, and then attach the other line to one of the winches and see if he could winch us through the sand to freedom. In the end, we decided just to tie the rope to the channel marker and see if that worked. I can't say that the whole process didn't go very smoothly. We did have an audience. This is obviously going very well, but hey, why not try the anchor too? All in all, I think we were able to winch ourselves forward about 30 feet. But I think it was the tide that ended up getting us off the rocks in the end. The next challenge is just trying to get back in the boat from that darn kayak. It was no easy feat, let me tell you. In the end, we did get off the ground and made it all the way to the marina.
We own a boat. So it's official. We last night we picked up the paperwork and we are now officially boat owners. It's registered with the Coast Guard, so we just got to send that in, and then once they send us back the paperwork, then it's official. But the transfer has been done. We have a notarized bill of sale from the past owners, and it's a big deal.
Next time on Sailing on a Whim, we start saying our goodbyes and pack up for our big road trip down to Florida to start our new big adventure. Stay tuned.
Yeah.